Razer, I see you. I see you cheating over there. I like it.
Every message that I send you, you just leave them all red.
Good afternoon, morning, and welcome to Turbo Tortoise Tech. If you're new here, I am Maurice of the 4-piece variety, or Triple XL. And this week, I've had the illustrious pleasure of using a Deathadder Pro V3. This is now the absolute best mouse, on straight to the top of my suggestion list after using it for like 2 hours. It's absolutely incredible. What they've done here is nothing short of miraculous. There's clearly some witchcraft happening inside of this device, and I'm very okay with it. It's been blessed by the Sangomas of 1,000 cherry blossoms, is basically the bullet point of the presentation. So, before I get too carried away and continue gushing over this mouse endlessly, let's go through your package contents. Well, one mouse in the package. Very, very nice cable. Light flex, it's not very stiff, and is terminating in a type C and then USB-A on the other end. Nice green accents on all of the connectors. Really, really like that from Razer. Just nice little brand touch there. Tiny little 2.4 gigahertz dongle, easy to lose. Luckily, comes with like one of the nicer connecting blocks around. I absolutely love these Razer connecting blocks, rubberized on the bottom as well, so it's not going to go anywhere on the desk. Similarly, type C on one side, type A on the other side. So for quick connections into the mouse when you need to charge eventually, then you'll be able to do that. Inside of the rest of the package though, we've got the manual as per usual. We've got some Razer stickers because free branding opportunities never seem to be amiss with Razer. Very good from them. Then we have some grips, which are optional extras. One of their masks did come with it on before, and quite rightfully was shouted out of the room because some people don't want this on the mouse, but for those that do, it's a nice optional extra to have. Nice that it is included in the package. And then we have a little note from the owner of Razer saying thank you for paying the extra tax on top of the mouse. Now, it's not saying that this isn't worth the money, I just think it is a little bit expensive for where it lies. So what about this thing? The mouse itself, the most important part. Well, haven't they just gone and done it, haven't they, Razer? The idea here is to make the lightest mouse possible. That was step one. Step two was to improve the ergonomics, which I think they did. A lot of people are complaining about this because it's not quite a V2 and they've become used to that shape, etc., etc. They'll probably do a Logitech for you where they just reproduce the MX518 and there'll be a Deathadder Classic. But this shape is actually everything that I hoped it would be. When I did my V2 review, I remember complaining specifically about this outside edge being a little bit wide and catching on the finger. You can see it literally sits right there on the edge. None of that anymore because of this improved shape. They've increased the slant, they've moved the hump further back into the mouse, and they've made it slightly wider as well from what I can see. But the basic effect is that you get something in between a Deathadder V2 and a Model D wireless. And it's basically practically ergonomic perfection. You still got the cups on the front over here as well for the fingers, so they do cup and sit nicely on each of the buttons. The thumb positioning is good. For the shape, I can just give it nothing but an absolute 10 out of 10. This is by far my best as far as Razer shapes go. And then what they've done inside of this thing just takes it to another level. So let's go through the mouse bit by bit. Left hand side, 2 thumb buttons, nicely positioned, pretty much perfect. Really pronounced central hump that it's got going over there so you can get that palm setup just feeling all that more comfortable. Left and right click, like I said, you have the troughing in there. Middle scroll, very, very, very light, lightened even further. It's only got a cross position in the middle of the actual wheel, so it doesn't seem to have lost any of its rigidity in doing so. It doesn't feel spongy when you use the click over there, so it just seems to have been done for lightning purposes, and they've got that quite right. Nice and big as well, so the chances of it failing, Steel Series, looking at you, second Sensei 10 failed this week on scroll, that probably won't happen to this mouse. Indicator light at the front to tell you if you're connected and what DPI you're on depending on your selected DPI. Then looking at the bottom of the mouse, we see the power and DPI switch over there. Really like that it's on the bottom, so chances of you bumping it in the heat of the moment, practically zero. The sensor cover is nice. The feet are incredible, incredibly good, really, really smooth. Some of the smoothest, I mean, just look at this. It's like having a Beyblade as well as a mouse all in one. Big plus for that. Back side of the mouse, just a Razer logo. You can see the pronunciation of that curve that's leaning off to the right now. And then on the right hand side of the mouse, it's just more hump really, and a lowered position point for your 2 clicks, or for your right click is on a lower position on the bottom end. Now inside of this mouse, like I said, is where some extra witchcrafty stuff is happening. The battery life is basically 1% an hour. I'm not even kidding, that's literally what I tested it to. I'd have days where I'd literally use 10% or 12% on about a 12-hour cycle. So, and a few of those days were literally end to end, like non-stop. So heavy usage versus light usage, battery usage was about the same. It's about 1% an hour, which is absolutely incredible. You can tweak it in the software, like for its timeout and stuff, so that it can extend that even further. But I don't really see you needing to, because my charge time on this was under 2 hours. I would give it to about 90 to 100 minutes is what I got it sort of at. It's about that area. It's a little bit difficult to track because it did vary. I was just charging it straight from the PC, so I would get more of like a normal usage environment from it. So the battery is incredible. Wireless is really good. Absolutely not one bit of loss. Could use it some distance from the PC as well. Very, very happy with the wireless performance as well. Now we get to the new sensor, 30,000 DPI. Bit superfluous unless you're on multiple 4K displays and you actually need that resolution. Well, at least you've got it there. But default out of the box, it comes at 400, 800, 600, 32, and 64, which I think a lot of us are probably scaling off of between 400 and 1600. I think for the most part is where we're going to, a lot of us are going to be scaling. So it's perfect like that out of the box. The main thing here is just how accurate the sensor is. This is now a 99.8% image tracking at its quoted speeds of 70G and like I think it was 750 RPS, but I know it was 700 RPS or more on the sensor, which is astronomically high. It's far higher than any professional CS player has ever basically been able to move. I think the peaks are probably like in the low 300s. So this is twice that worth of movement. There's also an optional dongle to take this to a 4 kilohertz polling rate, which I don't see you needing either. At 1000 already, it feels absolutely brilliant. Like this sensor-wise, I've been held back by the Steel Series TrueMove Pro because it's only 100% sensor and you really feel it. Maybe not in the first day, but after a week of usage, you're like, okay, now hold up. This is something different, because it just becomes instinctual how you can react off of it. And I got to that point with this mouse very quickly, very, very, very quickly. Didn't play too much CS or anything with it. Mostly we played a little bit of good old Ironsight, which is like a older like COD Modern Warfare 2 clone, really fun free-to-play game if you don't know about it. And then obviously my addictive pain simulator and Tarkon. And just in both areas, the thing just astounded me, like how good it was, how easy it was to get over the sensor hump. I can use a Pixar 3389 on a Model O, and I can tell you within a few minutes, I could be blindfolded or not even able to see the mouse, and I would be able to tell you it's that sensor. It's something of these damn things that I've tested over the time. And the TrueMove, like I said, it ruined me. That sensor genuinely ruined me. But now, for the first time in like years, this is literally the best mouse you can buy. It doesn't come without some tax. 2,800 Rand is what it's going to set you back here in South Africa. Astronomically expensive. So you look over at G Pro X Superlight and it seems like a really good deal at 2,200. Its sensor and its battery life are not going to be as good as this. I've tested them. It's just not going to be as good. This has some of the best battery for a 64-gram wireless product that I've ever tested. That's one thing that genuinely, like a Model O or Model D lost me about 2.5 days, literally 10 days of one charge at like 10 to 12 hours a day. It's disgusting battery performance. You just plug it in, leave it in overnight, and you can carry on. If you do run out of power in the middle of a gaming session, 15 minutes and it'll charge nearly like 40% of the battery. So it's got some like quick charge built into it as well. Absolutely staggeringly good. Like, I really, really like this. I could see a demand for there being a Bluetooth variant or some crossover and stuff. Obviously that's going to increase the weight because you've got to put another whole radio in here. But yeah, as this stands, that's the best mouse you can buy for FPS gaming. There's literally, this is the pinnacle. There's no up from here. If you don't believe me, well, a little blue birdie told me that a certain Villiers may have one, and another gentleman friend of mine who was an administrator at the local VS Gaming Championships there at Comic-Con may have indicated to me that a certain ginger-haired fellow of some notoriety is also using this currently right now. So two of the better CS players and aimers in the country have already upgraded their lives to this. So if you've got a G Pro X Superlight, probably not for you, but if you're looking for a really high-end wireless option and you like Ergo, I would put this ahead. Anywho, that is all I have for you in this review. If you have enjoyed it, please do hit us up with a like and subscribe, and I will see you on the flip side.